Central Kentucky's real estate talk show with a little bit of Lexington. From Studio 1A, this is episode number 1 of Live, Love, Lex. Hello, my name is Rick Pannell, and I'll be your host, and this is my wife, Whitney.
Hi, and welcome. We have wanted to do a real estate talk show with a little bit of Lexington for quite some time, so we're glad you're here.
We're going to go out in the community, and we're going to hit some restaurants, and as you all know, Whitney's a huge foodie. We'll go out places, and we'll drive 10 miles for a cup of coffee. So we're going to hit some of the spots around Lexington, and we're going to show you her favorite dishes, but of course, we're going to talk real estate as well. So right now, we're going to start off, and we're going to give you Whitney's top 3 tips to get your house sold.
My first tip is to neutralize. When we meet with sellers, we have the hard job of telling them they've got pet odor, they might have smoking odor, might have a rainbow of colors. So we kind of sit down with them and we tell them what it's going to take to get their home sold for the most amount of money in the least amount of time. And tip number 1 would be neutralize. And
I'm guessing today is gone are the open houses, and the internet is kind of the gateway to seeing that house.
Yes, you have one chance to make a first impression. You have about 3 seconds on the internet when buyers are scrolling through, so it's so important to have neutral colors.
Sounds good. Okay, how about tip number 2?
Take the home out of the house. And by that I mean take down all your family photos, take down your sports memorabilia, your awards. They all gotta go.
Whoa, the older we get, the better we were. You're saying take down like the trophies
all
and the ribbons.
They've gotta go. Yes,
oh boy.
Exactly.
So, okay, how about tip number 3?
Tip number 3 is to price your house right. All the marketing in the world will not sell an overpriced home.
Well, how do you put that together? I'm guessing you run comps, and if so, what is the time period that we run those comps?
We will sit down with you and go over the comparables, what's sold in the neighborhood in the last 6 months. That is what the appraisers use. So homes that sold way over market 3 years ago are not going to be comparable homes for you for pricing. So
put it all together again. Let's give us your 1, 2, and 3 top tips for getting that home ready for the market.
Neutralize, take the home out of the house, and price it right.
Sounds good. Well, thank you very much. And now we're going to go to our next segment with Marty Preston from Benchmark Mortgage. So Marty is going to show you how to buy that house. He's going to show you the financing options that you have, and he'll take you through the steps needed to buy your dream home. Okay, we are now here at Benchmark Mortgage, and we're here with Marty Preston, and he is going to give us his top 3 tips to secure your home mortgage.
Well, Rick, definitely the first thing that you have to do is you absolutely have to talk about and find out what you qualify for. Whether it's a $200,000 house, $300,000 house, $800,000 house, you have to find that out. The best way to do that is to obviously talk to a qualified lender who can help you figure that out. A lot of people will simply go online and type in a mortgage calculator, I'm going to put down 10% and this is my payment. Right. But there's property taxes, homeowners insurance. Sometimes there's a few other things involved.
Those are things people are probably not thinking of, I'm sure.
Absolutely. So we were talking a little bit earlier. There was a client that had about a $1,400 difference in the payment they thought they were going to have versus the payment they had.
Oh, wow.
And it was after they were under contract. So the first thing is to really find out what you're qualified for.
Okay.
Then the second thing is how much are you going to put down? It's not necessarily how much you have to put down. That, of course, matters. But it's really how much are you going to put down? Because sometimes you can put more money down and it does help with the mortgage, but it might cost you money in the end because, for example, if you took money out of an IRA and you had to pay taxes or penalties, it might be more expensive.
So putting that 20% down doesn't always work in your benefit. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But you can kind of assess the big picture and determine that.
Absolutely. One time we had a client that it was going to save them about $40 a month to put an extra little bit down to get to 20%. But it was going to cost them about $10,000 in taxes to do it. So you don't really want to do that. And then the third thing I don't think people really realize is as a lender, we have to get a lot of documentation. And certainly some of it is to make sure we know that you qualify and things like that. But a lot of it is to help the client save money, because if you think about it, if I can really verify your income and your assets and all those things, it makes the loan look better, which can save the client money. So I would tell people as the third thing, go ahead and get your tax returns, your pay stubs, your W-2s, your bank statements.
All those painful things we hear about.
All those things, just get them ready. Now with technology today, we've got ways you can email it to us. You can upload it to
okay. It's good to know.
secure
That's great to
portals,
know. That's good to know.
all that stuff. You do not have to print it. You know, sometimes people come in here and they'll print
shoebox
stuff.
full of things.
Yeah, and you know, it's great. We'll take it and smile, but then we just turn around and go and scan it. So just kind of get that stuff together. So those would be the three big things for sure.
Those are 3 great tips.
Thank you. What are the rates? Today's rate or approximate rate?
Yeah, so on a conventional mortgage, so anytime I get asked that question, the first thing I always think to reply is, are you talking about a 30-year fixed? And
30-year fixed.
Yeah.
30-year fixed.
And that's because that's where my brain goes, because that's what most people do. But, you know, if I don't ask, then people kind of go, yeah. So a 30-year fixed conventional rate is about 4.5%.
Okay.
Okay, today. On January the 6th, it was about 3.75, 3.875. So we've seen rates come up quite a bit in the last month or so. A jumbo rate, a 30-year fixed jumbo rate, which is any loan over $453,000, that's also around 4.5%. And a very unique thing right now is ARM rates, adjustable rate mortgages, have come up because the index that we typically have been using for the last 10 years or so, the LIBOR, has gone up. So when I got in the mortgage business way back, there were different indexes used. I think we'll start to see companies go away from that index, but around 4.5% are the rates today.
Well, great. I think you gave us some really good information.
Marty, those are great tips. I mean, really, just for the viewers to see something like that, you know, to add that onto our show, you know, we really appreciate your time. Thank you for meeting with us.
Thank you.
And until next time, this is Live, Love, Lex. This is Whitney, Marty Preston at Benchmark Mortgage, and I'm Rick.
Well, needless to say, we've eaten out about 5 times this week.
All right.
And we like Mexican. And one of my favorite all-time dips is the creamy jalapeno dip at Chuy's.
That stuff is good. Real good.
So roll the clip. This week I'm at Chuy's on Nicholasville Road. Best chips in town. And be sure and order the off-menu jalapeno creamy dip. You can't beat it. I could bathe in this. Welcome back to the show. So if you don't know this, but my husband is the king of worthless knowledge. He's like a walking encyclopedia of worthless knowledge.
You know, that can be true to some degree, but I did find an interesting story in the news this week that I just want to share. I'm sure everybody might have saw it in the news as well, but I thought this was very interesting. In all of England and Ireland, Kentucky Fried Chicken had to close down because they ran out of chickens.
So nobody got to eat fried chicken?
Nobody got to eat Kentucky Fried Chicken for a week in all of England and Ireland because there was no chicken.
Yeah, that's a problem.
That's a big problem. That's our state. We love Kentucky Fried Chicken, finger licking good. But anyway, I thought that was an interesting story, the fact that they had to close down because there's no chicken.
Well, great. Well, we'll leave you with that and tune in to next week's show, Live, Love, Lex.
Thank you.